And we're back, ready to dig even deeper into this fiery world of Forge and Fury. Before we went to, before we were talking about how their tour starts in Dublin, right there, just a stone's throw from the Deer Park mines. Coincidence? I think not.
I'm with you on that one. It's got to be intentional, right? It's too perfect to ignore. But for now, let's get back to the song Strike the Stone. We touched on a few of the characters like Damien, Thorin, and Ruark, but there's a whole cast of characters in those lyrics, each with their own, unique skills, unique stories. It's like a heavy metal epic poem.
Yeah.
What can we learn from these characters? What do their roles tell us about the song's narrative?
Well, you got to remember, these characters, they come straight from that D&D campaign that inspired Arthur Irish. Each one represents something different, right? Strength, resilience, the struggle against darkness, all that. You've got Damien, the blade singer. He's all about agility, grace under pressure. And then there's Thorin, like this figure of immense strength. He represents unwavering resilience, right? And then you've got Ruark, the bard, who channels his pain, his anger into like this powerful, vengeful music.
It's fascinating how each of them embodies a different part of what it means to strike the stone. They're all facing challenges, but they're rising to the occasion in their own way.
Exactly. It's about finding your own strength, your own way to fight back against the darkness. And that's what makes this song so relatable, right? It's not just about these fantastical battles and magical powers. It's about the human spirit, It's about the ability to overcome adversity.
That's a really good point. These characters, they may seem fantastical, but they're really reflections of ourselves, right? We all have our own battles to fight, our own stones to strike, so to speak.
Precisely. Like, take Sun Suk, for example. He's described as this monk, and his ki flows swiftly through him. Now, in D&D, ki represents, like a life force energy that monks can harness, especially for combat.
So he's not just physically strong, he's mastered his inner strength, too.
Exactly. And that mastery gives him incredible speed and precision. Like, the song describes him with fists like lightning and shadows bending around him. It paints this picture of a warrior who's just completely in tune with his own power.
It's like he's reached this level of self-awareness and control most of us can only dream of.
But it also speaks to the potential that we all have inside us. We all have that capacity to grow, to master ourselves, to harness our inner strength, to overcome challenges.
I'm getting goosebumps over here.
Yeah.
This is what I love about these deep dives, We uncover all these layers of meaning that I never would have noticed on my own.
And we're not even done yet. There's so much more to explore. What about Karis, for example? She's cleric, a healer, but her story, it's one of like betrayal, disillusionment.
That's right. Her god turned out to be a lie, and now she's walking between the light and dreams. It's kind of heartbreaking, but it also adds like this whole other dimension to the song's themes, don't you think?
Karis' story, it reminds us that even the most faithful, the most righteous, they can be misled. They can experience doubt, pain, all that. It humanizes the struggle.
Totally. It shows that resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about picking yourself up after you fall,
Yeah.
About finding the strength to keep going even when your faith is shaken.
And then you've got characters like Samuel, the Tinkerer. He uses explosions to his advantage. And then there's Alicia, who can, call upon the power of nature. They each bring something unique to the fight,
It's like the song saying that we all have something to contribute our own unique strength. And when we work together, when we combine our talents, we can overcome anything, even the greatest challenges.
It's a powerful message of unity, of collaboration. And it ties back to the band themselves, right? Each member brings their own style, their own personality, and together they create something truly special.
I'm seeing parallels everywhere. The song's like a microcosm of the band, and the band's like a microcosm of the human experience.
But we can't forget about the forces of darkness that these heroes are fighting, right? Khandan and his cult, they're the antagonists in this story.
Right. They've fallen to the Drow Queen's bed. Now, Drow, they're a race of dark elves in D&D, known for being, cruel and cunning. Khandan and his cult, they're spreading darkness everywhere they go.
They represent oppression, corruption, that desire for control, forces that want to extinguish the light. It's a classic good versus evil battle, but it's also a metaphor for the struggles we face in our own lives.
Those forces that hold us back, the negativity can creep into our thoughts, right? These are the Khandans we all have to confront. And just like the heroes in the song, we have to choose to strike the stone, to fight back, to forge our own path towards the light.
And that's where the song's message of hope and resilience comes in. The mines will burn, yeah, but we stand tall. It acknowledges the pain, the hardship, but it also affirms the power of the human spirit.
Yeah.
It's enduring.
And the music itself underscores that message. The rhythms, the vocals, the sheer intensity. It's impossible not to feel a surge of energy when you listen to Strike the Stone. It's like a sense of defiance.
It's like the music itself is giving you strength to face your own challenges. It's a call to action. It reminds you that even in the darkest times, there's always hope, always a reason to fight back.
So we've got this abandoned mine, a D&D campaign, these incredible characters, and music that's just, bursting with energy and emotion.
Right.
How does Arthur Irish, the lead singer, how does he tie all this together? What does his personal story add to all of this?
That's what we're going to explore right now. Stick with us as we delve deeper into the heart and soul of Forge and Fury.
We're back. And I got to say, those connections between Strike the Stone, the Deer Park Mines, and that D&D campaign, they're still blowing me away.
Yeah.
It's like Forge and Fury tapped into something really, really universal. But before before we were about to dive into the lead singer, Arthur Irish, what can his personal story tell us about the meaning of Strike the Stone?
One thing that really stood out to me in that interview was how much Arthur's own life mirrors those themes in the song. He talks about feeling like an outsider growing up, never quite fitting in. And for him, music, it became his way of carving out his own space, his own way to strike the stone, just like those dwarves forging weapons.
It's incredible how music can be that outlet,
Mm.
that forge where we shape our identities, find ourselves. It makes you wonder how many other artists out there, they find that same solace, that same strength in their art, turning struggles into something creative.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arthur, he specifically mentions using music to overcome challenges, to find a sense of purpose. He's not just singing about resilience, he's living it. And that adds a whole other level of authenticity to the music, don't you think?
Oh, totally. You can hear it, that raw emotion in his voice and the music's intensity.
Mm.
And knowing his personal connection to those themes, it hits different. But I think what's most inspiring is how he's turned those experiences into something positive, something that connects with other people.
It really shows how powerful art can be. It connects us, helps us make sense of our own struggles. When you hear someone else giving voice to what you're feeling, it can be really powerful. Reminds you that you're not alone in it.
And that's the beauty of Strike the Stone, right?
Yeah.
It started as this personal expression inspired by a D&D game. Then it took on this whole new meaning in the Deer Park Mines with all that raw energy. And now, through their music, their performances, Forge and Fury are sharing that message of resilience with the whole world. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So what does all of this mean for us, the listeners? Well, I think this deep dive shows us that seemingly unrelated things like D&D and Irish coal mine, personal struggles, they can come together to create something truly unique, truly meaningful.
And it makes you think about how we experience art, too.
Mm-hmm.
We all bring our own experiences, our own baggage to the table, and that shapes how we connect with a song, a painting, a story, all of it.
But for me, the big takeaway here, it's that reminder that inspiration, it can be found anywhere. You just got to be open to it,
Yeah.
Look beyond the surface, find those connections that other people might miss.
I mean, think about it. Arthur Irish found inspiration in a D&D campaign and a crumbling mine. It makes you wonder what hidden sources of creativity are waiting to be discovered in our own lives, right?
Imagine if we all approached the world with that same curiosity, that same willingness to see the beauty, the potential in the most unexpected places. What could we create?
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Forge and Fury, I want to leave you with this. What seemingly unrelated things in your life, dear listener, might hold the key to unlocking your own creative potential? With your Deer Park Mines, would you Strike the Stone? What threads are out there just waiting to be woven into your own unique tapestry?
Go check out Forge and Fury's music, especially Strike the Stone. See what speaks to you. Maybe you'll uncover even more layers of meaning than we did. And who knows, maybe it'll inspire you to strike your own stone, forge something new, something powerful, something completely and uniquely you.